Hey, Walt here from StogieReview.com with another video cigar review. Another short Ashes review, something quick and light. My daughter just laid down for a nap, and I'm trying to squeeze out one of the smaller cigars that I have in my humidor so that I don't waste too much if she wakes up early. So if you hear some screaming in the baby monitor, you know, she wakes up and starts hollering for daddy. It's not, I don't have like anyone locked in a trunk or something nearby. It's my daughter. She's waking up for a nap. But the cigar that I'm smoking today is the Diesel Unholy Cocktail, and this is a torpedo size. It was more or less an impulse buy. While I was at Cigars International the other week for the grand opening of their latest superstore, I was cherry picking around the store, and if you know that when you buy from Cigars International, you really don't get the best buy if you're buying singles. You know, if you want the best bang for your buck, you buy the samplers, you buy the 5-packs. You know, you buy bulk for the most part. And I was kind of wandering around the store, taking in all of the you know, the variety, and cherry picking this stuff that I liked. You know, I buy 2 of these, 2 of those, 2 of the others, and I wound up with this pretty big little carry cart thing of cigars. There was a lot of cigars. I think there was like $120 some. It was painful, but just don't tell my wife. But I got to the register with this sack of cigars, and I noticed that they had these on sale right next to the register. You know, sale price, marked down. And I grabbed 2 of them. I've only ever had one of the Diesel Unholy Cocktail, and I had the Shorty, I believe it was. It was a gift from Mike during the Cigar Fest a couple of years ago, and I thought it was okay. So, you know, one sale, and I was already spending way too much money. You know, what was another $10 or $12 for 2 more sticks? So I picked them up, put them in the cart, and you know, here we are a couple weeks later, and I'm smoking the first of 2. Now, I really don't know too much about this cigar. I know that there's a tie-in with Shorty Rossi from, was it Pit Boss, the television series? But I don't know if he has a stake in the entire Diesel line, or if it is just the Shorty size. I know that during Cigar Fest, Shorty Rossi will generally be there in the Diesel booth, and he will be promoting the Diesel product. You know, I didn't know whether it was, you know, the Diesel was his favorite line, and you know, the Shorty was made especially for him, so that's where the tie-in comes in at, or if he's got a stake in the Diesel line itself. I've seen some tweets from him about being in Nicaragua, an upcoming blend or something that he's personally involved in. So I don't know whether it's just a marketing thing with the Diesel, or if he's involved in that and he's doing something else in the very near future, or how all of that works. But at any rate, there is some sort of tie-in somewhere. Not that it's really relevant to this particular size. It is the Torpedo. The construction is pretty good on it. I've got some medium-sized veins. The wrapper leaf itself looks a little bit sloppy. The cap was kind of funky. There was like one piece of wrapper that was twisted and folded under, and it's made sort of a raised section, and I don't know whether it's going to cause any problems later, but it's kind of ugly, and it keeps getting stuck to my lip. Aside from that, the construction is good. I'm getting really good smoke volume. As you can see, the ash is light in color. It's burning evenly. It has sort of a light and powdery sort of appearance to it. I'm expecting that to flake off a little bit in the near future. But good smoke volume, coats the palate well. Nice thick smoke. It's nice and powerful. It is a good solid full-bodied cigar, and you know that immediately when you light it up. The draw is fantastic. The pre-light draw was good. It had some spicy and woody components to it. But we're off to a good start. I will be back shortly, and we'll take a look at you know, how the cigar is shaping up. Well, we're a little over an inch into our our Diesel Unholy Cocktail, and you know, the whole time I've been sitting here, I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm comparing it to the Man of War Ruination, which I think is a better cigar, but this is a bit different. It's almost as if this is kind of trying to keep pace with the Man of War, and it's doing a good job in the power department, but it's lacking, some of the finesse and some of the flavor that you get out of the Man of War series. So, you've got a cigar that's very full-bodied, and sometimes you want a cigar that's all power, and it just kind of gets the job done. And in those cases, I think this is a very good product, and it suits that purpose well. However, I'm sitting here, it's in the afternoon, I'm just I'm wishing that the flavors were a bit more delicate and a little more complex, but it's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot going on. I'm getting some woody flavors. I'm getting a little bit of a nutty flavor, and there's just a whole lot of power. There's definitely an imbalance toward the power side, of the equation. Whereas with the Man of War, you're getting you're getting more delicate flavors. You're getting more nuance, and I think that is a better balanced cigar. And I'm talking about the Man of War Ruination. I don't really care too much for the regular Man of War, but the Ruination is fantastic. So while this is a very good cigar in and of itself, I'm kind of wishing it were a Man of War, also made by AJ Fernandez for Cigars International. So that's kind of where I'm drawing the comparison from. As you can see, this cigar is burning beautifully. Absolutely no complaints in the construction department. The ash is holding on. It looks absolutely fantastic. Nice light color. It's holding the shape really well. It's not flaking, flowering, any of that. And it's producing lots of smoke. It's very thick. Coats the palate well. It's kind of neutral. It's not dry, but it's not creamy. And it's fairly easy on the palate. It's got a long, lingering, sort of a woody aftertaste, but I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Pairing it with a cup of coffee, just simple Dunkin' Donuts original blend, K-Cups, nothing fancy. But all in all, fantastically constructed, good, solid, medium. I almost said mediocre, and that's kind of where I'm leaning. I don't want to call it a fantastic cigar. It's smoking well. I think it's a decent cigar, but I don't think it's anything mind-blowing, and I do kind of wish it was a Man of War Ruination. But we'll smoke it a little bit further and see how it goes, see if my opinion changes. Alright, well, we're back one last time to wrap up I want to say Man of War, but it's not. It's the Diesel Unholy cocktail. And I've been sitting back here thinking when the ideal time to smoke the cigar would be, because all cigars have like an ideal time. It takes them from what they are normally and just elevates them to epic cigar status. And I think this cigar would be phenomenal after a night of drinking or during a night of drinking. After you have a couple of drinks and things start going fuzzy around the edges, the drink after that one, or maybe the drink after that one, this cigar would I think would be amazing. It would cut through all of the booze on the palate. It would just slam home with good solid power. You'd still be able to taste a little something at that point, or at least I would hope so. And I think that would be the ideal situation for this cigar. To me, this is a really good drinking cigar. It doesn't have a whole lot of complex flavors to get lost after you've had a few drinks, but it's certainly got the power to cut through all of the booze and the alcohol, and it would just make a wonderful drinking companion, I think. It's not the type of cigar that's going to take a lot of hand-eye coordination or require constant touch-ups or meddling around with. It just smokes beautifully. On demand. I haven't had to touch it up once. Just nothing has needed to be done to this to make it better. I've ashed it one time. Nothing has landed in my lap. In that sense, it is just a fantastic, perfect cigar. Good smoke volume, coats the palate well. It's not dry, but it's not creamy. And it's just got a nice neutral sense about it. Good solid power, definitely full-bodied. It could use a lot in the flavor department. Not that the woody flavors and a little bit of a leather taste is bad, or not that it's lacking. It's definitely good. I wish it were more. So good, solid cigar for the money. It's becoming a bit much for me. It's been building considerably since I turned the camera off last time, and I imagine it's going to continue to build throughout the, the last inch. But the cigar doesn't disappoint in the construction department. I just kind of wish it were a Man of War Ruination. But every cigar has its place, and I think I will definitely be keeping a few of these on hand for those nights when you have a couple of drinks and things go fuzzy around the edges. I think this would be a fantastic cigar for this. So now that this review is pretty much concluded, head on down to the comments section. Tell me what you think of the Diesel Unholy cocktail, and let's have a little discussion.